I'll take a motion to open, and we'll, like I said, get the party started. Anybody? Sarah?
Yep.
Jerry?
Yeah. I open to motion to open the meeting.
Second.
All right, so 6:03, we're in session. Agenda items. Do we have minutes to review and approve?
Actually, we do. I didn't forward them. That's actually my neglect, although I do think that the minutes, I'll definitely get them for the next meeting. I'd like to think that they're so much easier to do if we can do them in person.
Right.
And I can get people an actual copy. But I'll just, this will be the last one. But Heather has just sent the minutes for the last meeting. So she's got them all up to date. So they are ready, but I don't have them available for approval.
I mean, there's not much we can really change, right? It's all our last several meetings have been recorded, so.
That's true.
Okay, so our COVID-19 concerns, project updates, personnel, finance, incidents, soccer. Actually, I listened to Keith Began's message, so that was an update about Ayer Shirley program. I'm not sure if you know anything about that yet either. You just called me about 5 minutes ago. Basketball, if we have anything, and then next meeting, anything else to add?
No, just it can all be, anything I have can be added to the current agenda items.
Okay, so let's talk about COVID concerns.
Okay, may I begin?
Please.
Okay, so just a couple of quick things for the fall programs. Obviously, you have some new stuff, and Sarah will have some stuff from their meeting on last night regarding Ayer Shirley soccer. And then maybe Sarah can offer some thoughts going forward about, and Jerry, of course, can offer some thoughts about fall soccer for the younger kids program coming up. So that can probably wait for the soccer part of it. We have other programs that go on in the fall that aren't as extensive as our spring programs, but one thing we were going to be having is volleyball this fall. We were hoping to make up the spring session. I haven't talked to the coordinator for that program yet, but I expect we're not going to be able to do that since that would almost certainly have to be an indoor program. I could talk to her about it possibly being an outdoor program, and I'd like to get commissioners' thoughts on doing that, what their thoughts are of offering a recreational volleyball program outdoors in the fall.
I mean, we'd have to check the guidelines to make sure that was okay. But if we can, if we can do it within the state guidelines, I think we should. If we have the people to run it and we have the interest, and we can do it within the guidelines, do it down on the beach, right?
Yeah, my thought was to do it at the beach, and then we would get our smaller net that we have that we use at the Page Hilltop School. It's a I forget the name of the game that's like tennis that you have is really short net. But it's similar to that. We have a net that we purchased just for younger kids to be able to play volleyball with like a beach ball, and we could set that all up and have something, I think. So I can talk to the coordinator, but I didn't want to do it before running it by the commission first. And I'd like to hear, Jerry and Sarah have other thoughts as well.
Yeah, for me, I agree with Jason. If there's interest, absolutely. I mean, why not? I just have to check guidelines. See if we can do it safely, but I would be all for it.
Okay.
I agree as well. Our kids have been slowly getting back into sports these past couple of weeks with limitations, and it seems to be working. So if we can do it within guidelines, then I say let's try.
Excellent. So I'll talk to the coordinator about that. I'll check with the state guidelines, which of course is a moving target. So we'll see what we can do. I think that we could, get a registration out and back pretty quick within 2 weeks of when we want to do it. So, but it'll come down to what we're able to do. I can't imagine we'll be able to get into the school this fall. So it starts with being able to do it outside. So I'll keep the commission informed on that. So the other thing that we have going on usually for a fall program, it's not even a program, it's an activity, is the Gibson Award. And so again, that's something the commission will want to discuss whether or not they want to award a Gibson Award this at this time, or if they want to postpone it to the spring, or how they would like to deal with that.
Yeah, that totally left my radar.
Jerry,
It's-
just to get you kind of caught up on that, we might have talked about that when we did our orientation, but the Gibson Award is an annual award that's given out to a volunteer each year, and it's presented during a volunteer appreciation cookout we do. So the volunteer appreciation cookout, that would be a pretty tall task under current conditions to be able to do this fall. So that's not likely to be an event that we can put on. But that doesn't necessarily preclude us from doing a Gibson Award, although my recommendation would be to put it off to the spring.
It would still be the 2020 Gibson Award, though, and we'd still do one next year as well, right?
That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I think so. We don't want to have a gap in the plaque on the wall in the town hall. So, okay.
that
Well,
would be a stain.
Yeah, since we're not doing since we're not going to be doing a volunteer cookout, though, let's everybody think about, and then we can talk to Jason and Scott to think about some people. I know I have a short list. Jeff and I and Sarah have been frozen. Hello?
Who's frozen?
I don't know.
You're, I can see you.
Okay. Maybe Jerry's frozen. It looks pretty still right now. Anyway, we'll do that next meeting, I think. Everybody, we can come with some nominations and vote on it quickly. Even if we put out a list of the nominations on the email, so we don't have to spend a lot of time in deliberation of it, and then we can decide that next meeting.
Okay, and then is that something, Jason, that requires any kind of voting or anything? Is that something?
Yeah, we
needs
usually
discussion?
we usually vote on that, I think.
No, I'm saying to postpone this to the
No,
spring.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Am I not sharing my screen? I was. Okay. Okay. Keep continue on.
Okay, so if I can continue, Mr. Chair, with
Please.
these items. So, and then with the park and beach maintenance, that's actually not just maintenance, but it's the park and the beach. So we have set up a soccer field. We did that today for any fall use that we might have. Again, we'll be talking about that in a little bit with the soccer thing, but we did have a request from one parent/coach who was hoping to get out and get some opportunities to play, and I was able to get approval from the chairman and vice chair on that to be able to start that. So we did get one field lined just to have it out there, and it's set up in such a way that it'll make it easier for us to then use that field to line up other fields if we want to use them, and even a bigger field. So that'll help us out if we do want to use fields in the spring. So we have that, or in the fall. So we do have that ready to go. A couple other things as far as the beach goes. There's been a proposal by the town manager to meet with a couple members of both the Board of Health, the Selectman's Office, and the Parks Department to go over potential beach openings in 2021. So we'll be keeping everyone informed and in touch with how that goes. Obviously, that's one of those things that's, to do it now would be almost silly when we don't know a lot of information that might become available in the later fall. But it's also something we don't want to put off too long, certainly not be caught in the same position as last year or this year, where we ended up not getting an answer until way too late. So we'll be working on that too, as far as the beach goes.
Yeah, I think the good thing, Jeff, with that, if sorry to interrupt, but we do have the foundation of a plan if we have to have, if we're still in a COVID state in 2021, and there's going to be some restrictions. We have a foundation for a plan for that. So we're not going to be scrambling and starting from scratch on that. So we'll be hopefully good position.
Yep. And then as far as messaging to the public, as far as the programs go, I'll be talking to Sarah about how we want to send messages out to the younger kids for soccer once that decision's been made. We'll probably start reaching out to the basketball people who were registered in previous years to give them an understanding of where we are, even if we don't have a full knowledge of what we're going to be doing yet. And then online, based on some of the stuff that's talked about tonight, we'll be putting more information out with that too. But I wanted to put it out there to commissioners if there was anything specific that you wanted to relate to the public or any style that you want us to do it in.
I don't have anything tonight. I have to think about it.
Okay. All right. Well, for what it's worth, I'll be forwarding any messages that I am sending out to the public. I'll be copying commissioners on initially. And while those can't be debated via email due to open meeting laws, obviously any suggestions or thoughts can be taken into account at that time.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. That's all I have for those items.
What about projects?
For the new building opening, that's coming along. I'm going to be setting up a meeting with Robert at the end of the week to go over some of the things. I sent out a thing today. I had sent it out actually earlier with the opening plan that was set up through the town manager and then through the building manager. A lot of that stuff is COVID related. Some of it's insurance related. So those things are going through. Carly, I talked with her today to verify that the insurance is going through, and she said that she's pretty sure it's all set, but just wants to verify it. So that should be in good shape. My goal is to get that ready to go by early next week, and then we can start really, going to town and moving some stuff in. But mostly for insurance purposes, we were told not to do anything with the building until everything was all set to go. All the T's were crossed, all the I's were dotted. Once it's done, there's still going to be restrictions on what we can do in the building. The meetings will still have to be remote, for example. And there will be certain protocols, but the commission will be able to come in and inspect the building and go over it. And I look forward to having the commission come in and see how it looks.
Yeah, and we'll have an event maybe in the springtime too to christen the building and invite the public to come and see it too. What about punch list items? Are we starting a list of things like that? We talked about the slots thing, things like that. How are we doing with that?
Doing pretty good. Chuck actually had a contractor, a plumber that he uses, come in to take a look. I didn't get the results of that yet, so I haven't seen Chuck since he came in to give that a look. But we'll be going over that.
A list of furniture, shelving, anything like that. Oh no. Jerry.
Yeah, those are things that's up to us. And again, once we get the go ahead to start going in there and doing things, that's when we'll be able to go forward with making those decisions about what type of furniture and things like that will be going in there.
So I noticed Jerry dropped. I don't know, Jerry, what the last thing you heard was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting some disconnection on my internet for some reason. I apologize.
It's okay.
I don't know why, but
What's the protocol, by the way? If we're just at a quorum and somebody falls off, do we have to pause the meeting? We certainly can't vote on anything without all the members present. Or is it just somebody getting up to go in the other room for 5 minutes? I don't know.
You don't have to pause the meeting, but you can't vote.
Okay. Thank you. That's weird. So, Jerry, I don't know what the last thing you heard was.
yeah, we're on messaging to the public.
Okay. So we're just talking about the building.
Okay.
Jeff, I don't know if you want to quickly go through it.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay.
Basically, Jerry, we were a tad stalled with getting ourselves moved into the building due to the need to have the insurance cleared on it. Just because if anything happens, somebody filing cabinet tips over, or somebody's moving in something and something happens, it's not insured. So those are just have to be done. So again, those are being done. And then the COVID things, the building manager is been working on those with us. So those will be pretty much all set to go. That's basically signage and a couple of things that we are pretty much all set on already anyway. So it's in good shape. Like I said, I'm expecting we will be able to go with this starting early next week. That is my intent. So, but I do have to meet with the town manager because he has to give the go-ahead on anything that we do in there before we can do it.
Okay, thank you.
As far as other project updates, I'll try to go through these really quickly. For our capital plan items that were approved, I sent an outline of the truck that we put out to get quotes for. We've approached 3 different dealers and given them the same specs. As a reminder to the commission, the way it works is we can't just shop around and, well, this truck has this, and, oh, this truck looks good, that got that, and we have $40,000 to spend. It doesn't really work that way. We have to set up a spec sheet that has every single thing the exact same, and every single dealer has to make a bid on that exact thing. So we have it's a new Ford F-150. I'm sorry, F-250. It's it's a nice solid truck for what our purposes are. It's also going to come with a dump bed and a plow attachment. And there's not too many extras. Some of our maintenance workers were looking for all sorts of bells and whistles to go with it. So I had to disappoint them and say, well, not exactly. But it will have some, basic power packages. So, there will be actually button windows as opposed to our old roll-ups. So that'll be something.
That's an improvement.
But the most important thing is going to be a highly functional truck for our purposes over the next 15 years or so, I would guess. So we got that going for us. The trailer has been ordered. That should be in any day. So we're looking for that. Other projects that we're going to be doing this fall.
So Jeff, I'm sorry. On the truck, do we have to buy a Ford?
We don't have to buy a Ford, no.
Okay. I didn't know if I don't understand how it comes up if we have a preferred manufacturer or something, or if we just come up with the basic specs, could we bring it to a Chevy dealer and a Ford dealer and have them, obviously a Chevy and a Ford are different, but the basic level, I don't even know how that works.
It doesn't. You would have to go with all Chevys or all Fords or all something.
Is that's in order to get like for like bidding?
No.
Exactly. You have to get a bid on an identical item from 3 different sources.
Okay.
So it can't be a similar product. You can't go to a Dodge dealership and they got this and it's a similar class vehicle. It's unfortunate. We had gone with Chevy. My decision to go with the Ford was based on a local dealership having an opportunity to bid on it, which I goes within our park policies of trying to stay with local businesses if possible. Obviously, if another dealership offers a lower bid, then we have to go with them. But that's part of it. The other thing is that as far as maintenance goes, we can also still go to them with the warranties that are in place, as opposed to some of the private contractors we generally use for auto mechanics.
Right.
But we have a warranty issue. We don't have to drive to Wilmington. We can go right to a local Ford dealership right down the road. So that's the other benefit. So continuing on, if I could, the big project we're looking to do this fall is rehab on some of our fields, baseball and softball fields. For those of you who use them, which I believe is most of us have familiarity with them, they develop lips over the years. Most of that's due to the dragging and then clay and other materials being pushed out to the outer edges. And at some point, you just have to cut that away. And it's a pretty labor-intensive project to do. So we're going to have to get a sod cutter out there and cut away a lot of the sod. And while we're at it, we'll probably cut the infield sod as well, get that all level, and plant grass at the best season to grow it in the fall. And then, have it all, finish it up in the spring with what we can't get done. So I'm hoping to get some volunteer effort in to help us out with that, because the big labor-intensive thing with this is the cutting of the sod, and even more the removal of the sod afterwards. it's a real bear. We've done it a couple times in the time I've been here, and it's not something I'm looking forward to, but I'm looking forward to the end product. Field 2, the softball field that encroaches on the soccer field as well. That lip has an issue with both the softball and the soccer field. It makes it an unsafe condition, in my opinion, for soccer to be played there with the lip. So it makes it a better soccer field as well. So it's beneficial to multiple programs. So that's our goal, to work on that this fall. That's the big one.
So you want volunteers like from the coaching ranks type of thing, from like our parents, or are you looking for?
No, I'm thinking of volunteers that we have. We have a set of volunteers. We currently have some court order volunteers lined up that we can utilize. And we've got some, and we have approval from the town manager to start utilizing volunteer in limited restrictions. So in other words, we can't get the parents and like we do for the baseball event we do every spring for the cleanup. That's not an event we can really put together yet. But we are allowed to get 1 or 2 volunteers, have them sign off on a form that says that they understand the COVID restrictions and so on and so forth. And we can do that with 1 or 2 individuals. So having them involved will ease the burden on our paid employees and other members who are going to be doing this. So,
and we don't count. And if any of the commissioners wanted to help out with that, we don't count in that math of volunteers. Correct?
No, you're considered by the town to be an employee in that respect. So you have the same obligations and understanding of what the conditions are and are insured as such as a town employee would be. That's my understanding. So the other projects we're going to be doing in-house is we've actually completed the mural on the beach house. I hope the commissioners like how that came out. That was done by Kate Blood, who was one of our lifeguards, and I thought it came out really well. We've got a lot of compliments on it so far. So hats off to Kate for being able to do all that and get that done. We appreciate her efforts. The back side of the building has an open surface, and we talked about this at a previous meeting, that we have another employee, Olivia Logan, who is a student at Neshoba Tech who's doing graphic design. So she has offered to do a mural on the other side, and she gave us a couple sketches to look at, and I was hoping to get approval from the commission, if they choose to approve, of one of those designs for her to begin with. And if I could just kind of describe them, the one that you see on the screen right now is it's conceptual right now, and you'd have to really look at it tightly to see it, but it's basically 2 fish swimming around and lily pads off to the side. And again, obviously this is just, what's that?
It looks like a koi pond, right? Is that what you call them?
Yes,
yep.
Exactly. So, where these would be specific, she could alter probably a little farther to the right because there's a shower on the left. And then the other design she had was just a wave with a sun in the background. And I had asked her if it's possible for her to transpose this to go the other direction, because if you can put up the back of the building. Yeah, we have the new shower installed there, so I think that mural would look better going in a mirror direction of what she had given her sample drawing up, and she said that wouldn't be a problem either. So I'd like to put it to the commission to look over those 2 drawings and decide if that's something that they would like to go with, and if not, I can ask her to explore some other options.
Great pictures out there, buddy. I love the picture of the wave, and I think that would look pretty cool, especially with the shower right there. Like maybe it's coming off of the shower if you flip it.
Oh, yes.
Coming off of so the wave would go in the direction that she proposed. It just would look like it.
Yeah. Whatever she thought, but it might just go with the fact that the fountain and the shower are both there.
Yeah. Interesting. Jerry, what do you think?
I like the idea of the mural. I do. And of course, going that way as well with the shower. That looks good. Got a lot of good feedback and reaction to the one Kate did.
What's
Yeah,
on the other side, Jeff?
What's on the other side?
What's on this side? This is just a wall too, right?
It is. It is. And
So we could possibly do 2 more.
you could do 3 more, depending on it. And then we got to blow up the building in a few years. But regardless, no, if it lasts 5 years, whatever, it's still worth doing. It's
Right.
beautiful. So if the commission would like to choose one, that would be, she can get started on it if you do like it.
Yep. Which one did you like, Jerry?
I like the wave.
Yeah, wave's good. How about you, Jeff? What do you think?
Well, actually, I wanted to hold off on my opinion, but I told Olivia I like the wave better. I do love the concept of the goldfish or the koi's, going back and forth. And but just something about the wave and the sun, that's a winner for me.
Okay. There you have it. Do we need a vote for any expense on this or no?
Yes. I don't recall. I can look it up. I believe the amount that we gave to Kate to utilize was $200.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be good just to make sure we have enough by saying $300, just to make sure there is enough. That would be my request for $300, and my guess is it would be less. So we need a motion to use $300, and I'd suggest that come from the revolving account.
Right, I'll make a motion that we allow our employee Olivia to paint a mural on the back wall of the bathhouse with funds from the revolving account not to exceed $300.
Sarah, you've gotten so good at that.
That was good. I second that.
Yeah. Any further discussion on it? Okay, all in favor? Jerry?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
And I'm also an aye. Thank you.
And so the last thing I have for projects, just I'll try to get this done really quick. We have been approached by 3 different Eagle Scouts for projects since the last meeting. One is from Jordan Higgins, and I don't have a picture for this one. Well, why don't we go with the picture right there? One is from Dawson Testa. Dawson Testa had approached the commission last year about doing a project with the perimeter path and putting up storyboards. Unfortunately, with the COVID things going on through the year, he wasn't able to put that together, and now he's kind of running out of time to do something that ambitious. So he wanted to do something a little more practical for what his timing allows him to do. So he was hoping to build a Gaga pit at Peroni Park. The commission's already approved a Gaga pit from another Eagle Scout down at the beach. So this would be not the same project. This is a different Gaga pit at Peroni Park with the location to be determined. But we had talked about that the commission has talked about that before, with possible locations being behind the concession stand bathrooms or possibly in the side area in front of the playground. So that can be determined at another time.
I like it.
Keep your foot in the bag. Keep your foot in the bag.
Yeah,
That'll be a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so this would need approval from the commission to do so. There's no dollar amount that needs to be voted on. This is a Eagle Scout project that they generally fund themselves, and they can, if they choose to request funds, but we have
Nice
not
job.
received.
Right?
This would be at Peroni Park, did you had said?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes. We already have an Eagle Scout project in line to do one at Sandy Pond.
Wait, so we just need a motion to approve this project?
I'll make a motion that we allow Eagle Scout Dawson Testa to build a Gaga pit at Peroni Park at a location to be determined later.
I second that motion.
Okay, so, any further discussion on that? No, okay, all in favor? Sarah?
Aye.
Jerry?
Aye.
And I'm also an aye.
One thing I would request is from the commission is to allow me one commissioner to work with on this to determine a location.
Yeah, you can talk. You can work with me, Jeff.
Okay, so the other projects, we had a request to build a little free library at the beach. That was from Molly Schneider, and she is doing it as a silver project for the Girl Scouts. And even though there's obviously concerns with the COVID epidemic and people touching library books and going back and forth, the concept is that this would be there for a long time and would not be open until after the COVID concerns had died down. So this would be, and it takes a little time to build it, of course, too. So even if it was built before the COVID crisis was finished, it wouldn't be opened until that time, probably, hopefully in the spring or summer of 2021.
Where's she going to put it in the beach?
A location to be determined, probably on a post was my recommendation to her. She had seen a couple trees that she thought it might look good on, or on the back of the building. But again, that's based on a mural being put up first and so on and so forth. So the location is still to be determined, but I think ideally it would be with a post and cement to give it an optimal location.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, a tree's going to grow, so after how many years is it going to be out of reach for people?
Right.
And then the building eventually is going to be coming down. So I like it. It's a good idea. I mean, you can't really open it until after COVID's done anyway, but at least we get started.
Yeah, I think it will be a great idea, and just maybe not fill it until later.
Okay, same thing. We'll take a motion to approve the project.
I motion to build a little free library by Molly Schneider for the Girl Scouts at the Park Beach, time and location to be determined.
Nice job, buddy.
Harry!
I think she was talking to one of her kids at a
Yeah,
game.
sorry.
But,
We're watching the baseball game. I'm sorry.
but Jerry, it was a nice
Sarah,
job,
thank
too.
you.
So,
Sorry. But it was a great motion,
hilarious.
and I second that motion.
That's hilarious.
okay. All right. So, any further discussion on that? All right, all in favor? Jerry?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
I'm also an aye.
All right. And so the last one is actually another, an Eagle Scout who wants to also do a little free library, but he wants to do it at the park under the same conditions. And one thing he wants to do that's a little bit special is he wants to make a plaque dedicating it to Richard Durand, former commissioner, who recently passed away.
Yeah. Same thing. I mean, that's a great idea, and it's nice to have something dedicated to Rich down there too. Where would they consider putting that one?
Probably along the perimeter path, most likely on a post.
Okay, I like it. We take a motion and a vote on that one too.
I'll make a motion that we allow our Eagle Scout to build the little free library at Peroni Park and dedicated to former Commissioner Richard Durand.
I second that.
Okay, I seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, Sarah?
Aye.
Jerry?
Aye.
And I'm also an aye.
Did I mention that was Jordan Higgins? I didn't know if I mentioned the name.
No, I
Legal?
don't think you did.
Okay.
But okay.
Oh, my apologies to Jordan. That's Jordan Higgins who is going to be doing that project.
Nice.
Okay, and that's it for project updates.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, so for personnel, just a quick update. For gate attendants down at the beach, we had scheduled them through the end of next week, and then we hadn't planned on going forward with that based on the commission's discussions at a previous meeting. Unless the commission wants us to keep on going with that, I was intending to complete that ending next Friday. So the amount of traffic we've had down there has been minimal at this point. We've had almost no requests for people coming in looking to go swimming. So I think that would be ideal at this point to finish up around that date.
Yeah. So I think that works, but I've had a couple people ask me about availability or access to launch kayaks and canoes off of the beach. I know we haven't in the past because of swimmers. I don't know if that's something we want to rethink for the rest of the summer into the fall. One concern that jumps out to me is if we take down that temporary fence that we have there that's coming by swimming. I don't know if we could somehow open up a gateway or something like that, or I don't know.
My only question would be liability, is if
Yeah.
they're entering on town property and something were to happen, are we then legally responsible?
Right. I mean, if they launch it from the side of the road down the street, where they generally do, that's not our property. It's not our concern, I suppose. But you're right. And maybe that's something we should check with
Town council or whatever, yeah.
town manager Jeff.
Just like that. Swing
Would
just
you like me to check that?
Yeah, please. I don't know if that's something the Board of Health needs to get involved with either. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because they don't get involved with them launching craft from Peroni Park or anything. So
No, it's generally just more about the swimming as far as Sandy Pond goes.
right.
Yeah. Obviously, this is something that's been discussed with the commission for decades. The ability for launching watercraft from that area out of season, and it does, have some potential for causing confusion when the seasons change, and that is no longer allowed. When you tell someone starting May 25th, they can no longer launch their canoe from there.
Right.
So I think that the messaging might be more readily accessible now than it had been in previous decades with that. So that might be the game changer with that, where you can make that something it's a little more clear to the public.
Right.
And again, the other issue is about just maintaining the no swimming without lifeguards on duty. But once that fence goes up and the gate gets locked, then I guess that kind of sends the message. I just know that, fishermen in particular, they're the ones who really like the idea of being able to launch from there, especially after hours. And once you kind of let that out of the bottle that you're allowing it at all, and then you cut that off, that might be a little difficult.
Yeah.
So just something to be concerned with.
I don't think we ever want fishing in our area, in our swim area. That's just something that's a definite no, because eventually we will be swimming there again, and we can't have people cutting hooks and things like that, in that area. So I don't know, but let's start with checking with the town manager about any sort of liability issues, and then we can take it up at next meeting, take a vote on it next meeting.
Okay, I'll try to get an answer by the next meeting.
Yeah, if we can. I mean, it's, it is what it is, but.
Okay. I understand the request. It's a wonderful request, and I believe we talked about this at the last meeting, the potential for creating a lane, a gated lane to allow that access.
Right.
But the biggest issue with that has always been parking in the past. So developing another parking potential is, key element to allowing that during swim season.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Okay. And I already talked about the volunteers for personnel. And as far as the maintenance staff goes, they're doing a great job. I just wanted to give a shout out to especially our weekday workers. They've been doing just a fabulous job all summer long, working in very difficult conditions with the heat. And even though we're not doing a lot of programs, things like that, and we're not able to water the park, we're doing a pretty good job keeping it in pretty good shape. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them because I think they've been doing a really good job.
Who are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about the whole, it's not like we got a big staff for maintenance right now, but we had both our gate attendants and then Kate and Matt Blood, doing a lot of work down the beach in the early summer. And then through the summer, we had Olivia Logan and Hannah Saltzman. And then, of course, our longtime employees, Alex Calabrese and Tyler Mayo, all pitching in to do, excellent work. So just really happy with what they've been able to do in limited hours and limited circumstances.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, and I have no incidents to report for finance. I just wanted to mention that we're starting our fiscal year 21 budget, and we're going to be really closely monitoring the new cost for the services for the new building. We had $3,000 built into our budget for this year just to, oversee any extra expenses. Just looking at some of the stuff that we didn't anticipate, that's going to be much higher than that. But I think that we can use, we got quite a bit of money in the revolving account at this point, so we should be able to utilize that for anything we need. And then once we have that, monitored for a year, we'll know what to ask for in fiscal 22, when it comes time to do that and have that built into the budget a little better. So I just wanted to make sure the commission was aware our request for next year it's going to be asking for a pretty good bump in services just to cover the cost of the new building. And I'm not sure what the mood of the constituency will be at that point with everything going on with the COVID and expenses and things like that. We've been able to cut back a lot of our expenses for this year's budget going forward by not opening the beach. That's the one, blessing, is that we're able to save some money. And our department's going to be able to demonstrate that we were able to be fiscally responsible with that money, not just spend it and use it. We were able to give it back to the. So I think that'll justify some of the stuff we're doing.
Right. Perfect. Okay. Sarah, do you want to, you probably have the information that Keith just left. Do you want to take soccer? We can talk about the young kids first and then talk about Air Shirley.
So, sure. I would love to meet with our coaches and Jeff, if you're interested, in the next couple weeks to kind of see what their thoughts are in fall. I think it would be manageable if we made smaller teams. We are only playing in town, against the same teams every week. So it would be limited exposure with, a little bit of a different game. But I think it would work. As far as the older kids go, I know Neshoba Valley has sent out some changes to play that different towns were voting on. But our meeting last night was got an email yesterday afternoon that they were postponing till tonight, and I wrote back and said that's sad because we have Park and Rec and I have a baseball game with my kids, so they're meeting right now.
Just like that, right over the plate.
So I have no idea what he sent you, because I haven't heard back from him.
Okay. So he said, literally right before the meeting started, he left me a voicemail. He said Neshoba Valley is in a holding pattern.
Back him up.
And for that reason, they're not releasing any registrations. They're not opening registration yet.
Okay.
They don't want to like have a bunch of people register and then have to refund them if Neshoba Valley doesn't play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, as soon as they know that the league is gonna go, they're gonna open up registration. They'll send it over probably to you, Jeff, to put it on the Air page, and they'll put it up on the Shirley page and open registrations.
Okay.
That was it. That was really it. So,
Yeah, I know the league had sent out, and I can forward it to the commissioners, just different things, adjusting throw-ins and, no slide tackling, limiting contact where I know like one of my kids is playing right now over in Teamworks, and they're playing
All right.
3-on-3 with very limited, you can't shoot within a certain point, and they're, just trying to keep them distant, and it's working. So I think with, changes in some of the rules, it could work.
okay. So just wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'll try to keep monitoring the state regulations as they come out with that. And
Yep.
then Sarah, you and I can talk, about
Yeah.
our potential with that.
Okay.
One thing I would request, if you could, if Air Shirley Soccer does come up with, something they want to say and they want to say it on their webpage, if you could forward it to me, then we'll put it on our
Yep.
our stuff as well. So that'd
Okay.
be good. We get consistent messaging
That's
from them.
out.
Let people know, because I'm sure people are going to be wondering. They're probably already wondering. I'm sure they're hopefully being very patient with it, like they should be, because nobody really knows or expects anything at this point.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else with soccer then?
Not at this point. It's just
Okay.
kind of
Right. What about basketball?
So for basketball, I was going to propose, and I was going to talk with Jason. I was hoping he'd be online tonight, and just hear from him. But then Jeff Testa, the other member of the Air Youth Basketball Board, to choose a date and propose to the Shirley contingency to have just a pre-season meeting to go over some basic stuff, almost a follow-up from last year, and just some thoughts. But there's not a lot we're going to be able to talk about. I have grave concerns about our ability to be able to play basketball this winter, because obviously winter basketball is predicated on gym space, and nobody knows what's going on with the school. I mean, they're going to have their big meeting tomorrow to get started on what they're going to do for a plan to open for the school year, and then what they're going to allow for outside groups. I can't imagine, like I said, with volleyball at first, nothing. But whether or not they're going to be able to offer anything come winter, I think that's very speculative at best to have that available.
And I think in the interest of good relations, we shouldn't even ask for a little bit here. I mean, they're so focused on just getting their plans to be able to open, to do something, to be able to educate the kids this fall. I know the school year is probably going to get bumped, right? I mean, they already said that, but it's going to get pushed out. So maybe like mid-September, end of September would be a good time to talk to them. Because it's going to be a fluid situation, right? Whatever plan that they lay out, it's going to be a fluid situation. Either it's open in some capacity and something happens and they pull back, or it's open in some capacity and things are good and it continues to open, and open more and more. I don't see us getting in there until they're like completely open.
And on top of that, basketball is like the number one at-risk sport. so
Right.
You have that on top of everything else.
Right.
Whether or not we want to even choose to do that, depending on where we're at with the virus at that point.
Right.
So it's going to be tenuous at best, but it's something that I still want to send out some messaging to parents within the next month. And again, I'll send something out to the commission before I send it out, but just to let them know that we're not like just twiddling our thumbs doing nothing. We're, giving it, at least some thought and some concern. And obviously we're not going to do anything until we're feeling everyone's going to be safe and we have a venue to go to. So
has anybody heard anything about the youth football?
No, not a direct answer of what they're doing yet. It's obviously just like, soccer. It's going to be really hard to do.
Right.
Probably more so.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a while here.
Yeah, Jason, I did have one more quick thing.
Yep.
I was going to be putting in for some time off next week on Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be working the following weekend, anyway. And then the dates of August 26th through 30th, I was, 27th through 30th, I was planning to take off.
Okay. Sounds good. When's the wedding? That's October,
10,
right?
10/10/2020.
Okay. Nice.
10/10/2020.
That's an easy date to remember.
Still happening. It's still happening, I believe.
Very good.
To go.
Very
Reception
good. So,
stuff might be tough, but the actual I do's, they're gonna go.
good for them. Good for them. Okay. Anything else that we want to talk about?
I don't have anything, Jason.
Okay. Sarah?
Nope, I'm good. Sorry.
That's okay.
We're
Do
just
we
in
want?
the middle of a baseball game here.
Nice.
Which I will say, like a lot of us from Ayer merged with Shirley this summer for a little bit of summer baseball, and it worked perfectly. So it was an awesome experience
Great.
to do. So
Great. I'm glad it
Guys gonna
worked
be
out.
playing. Guys gonna be playing down at the field one on Friday, right?
they are, but sadly we have a hockey tournament, so my kids will miss it. But yes, they are. They're very
Oh,
excited to play in the big dugout field. Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
shame. We got
I
it
know.
looking good. Got it looking good just for them. Oh well.
They'll love it.
Oh, well.
So, let's see, the 12th. I think we can get back to the third Thursday of the month, or at least thereabouts. I know obviously it depends on, conflicts with other ones, but that would be September 17th. Let's shoot for that date if we can, and if not, that week I think would be good. That's the third week in September, and we can kind of get back on our normal schedule.
Okay.
That works?
Maybe in person, right? Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, could we meet in person at the park outside?
I'll check.
Well, probably not because it's an open meeting, right? And this
yeah.
platform allows for public participation. Okay.
That's I believe the whole point is that if 50 people wanted to come to the meeting, they couldn't do it by law, but they
Right.
could do it here.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, very good. Just 10 minutes over. Did pretty good.
Nice work.
I'll take a motion to adjourn, and everybody have a good night.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 6:55.
Second.
Second.